Hi there. I wanted to do another get ready with me because it's a great way to do my makeup, and I wanted to talk about something that is really important to me in my books. So let's get started with some primer and an introduction. Okay, so my name's Kelsey Stelting, if you don't know, and I write young adult romance mainly in the Curvy Girl Club, which is a series of 10, as of now, body positive romance books. And I got this comment on TikTok the other day that said they loved how nice the guys are in my books, and it makes them feel like they deserve the same kind of treatment, which is amazing as an author, just to read that someone enjoyed your books and resonated with them enough to, change their outlook on life or to solidify something really beautiful, like the fact that they deserve love. So I wanted to talk a little bit about why I write nice guys and why that's so important to me. And I guess like the best way to start is going all the way back to high school when I was a impressionable 14-year-old girl who, made some really bad dating decisions. Made some really bad dating decisions. My first boyfriend was a senior when I was a freshman, which is like an instant red flag, And I really liked him, really liked talking to him. And we clicked, or I felt like we clicked, we got along, we had some like shared experiences of like, harder upbringings, and I really like fell hard for him. He was just a lot of what I thought I wanted. But pretty soon into our relationship, which, let's be real, mainly consisted of text messages, he started like asking me to have sex with him and saying like if I loved him, that's what I would do, and I didn't need to worry about getting pregnant because birth control is so effective, and he loved me, and that's just how he expressed that love. And as a man, he had urges, and if I wanted him to stay faithful to me, then I wouldn't want him to act on that urge with anyone else. And it was just a lot of that, and it was like pretty constant in our conversations that we had with each other. And luckily we weren't in person all that often because he went to a different town, went to a different school, and so we didn't really get the opportunity to hang out all that often, especially not in private. But it really like kind of took a toll on me, and finally I'm glad that I did like have the courage to say like, no, this isn't what I want. I don't want this kind of relationship. I am, at that time I intended to wait until marriage. And I just don't feel right about it. And we broke up, and there was like a lot of drama where he was like calling me and saying that like he would hurt himself because he lost me. And it really like shaped a lot of like how I expected boys to treat me, especially in high school. And so like when we broke up and I got another boyfriend who like I actually saw pretty regularly and was a really nice guy, it was like kind of boring. And I know that sounds bad because he treated me well, he picked me up for dates, he dealt with my sister being a brat to him, he was a really great boyfriend, and I was just like so disinterested. And I think that's because, I dated this guy and equated love with all of that heartache and drama. But in the words of a country music artist, love doesn't have to be so complicated. And I really like, as I got older and continued dating, I really like started finding that the guys that I clicked with were nicer, and I liked being treated kindly, and when they treated me badly, it didn't feel good, you know? And I ended up dating another guy who was probably just as bad as the first one, honestly. He would just kind of string me along and then ask out my friends, and then he'd take me back, and then, you know, I'd take him back or whatever, and it was just a bunch of like drama, honestly. And I eventually, one of my friends was like, how long are you gonna let him treat you like this? And I was like, oh, like, how long? And I think then I realized, you know, I really did want someone who would treat me nicer. And, you know, you would think that that would be an obvious thing that a girl would want. But when you grow up in an unsafe household and your boyfriends are rude to you and you think that's love, you know, you want that, and you want that attention. It's hard to let go of it. And so when I started writing, especially at the beginning when I was younger, it was an opportunity for me to kind of like feel out what my desires were and what I dreamed I could have out of a relationship. And I found as I wrote, like, that I dreamed for guys who were kind and strong and sweet, and who would think about me, and if they messed up, they would own it, and, you know, they would respect me. Like, if before a first kiss, maybe they would ask if I wanted to be kissed. You know, maybe they would ask to hold my hand. And through that process, I found that a lot of other women, you know, were offered up a lot of romance novels where the guys are the alpha holes or the boss holes, or, you know, they're not always nice. They're very commanding. You know, there's bully romance where the guys are like really, really cruel to the girls. And I have written books where the men are that more like domineering type personality, but I always find my way back to him realizing the error in his way and being ultimately like very sweet and doting to the girl. And I think that's why, is because that's what I want. I want a guy who loves and respects and appreciates me and sees me as a partner, you know, in every way. And, you know, plenty of other girls want that too. And I think the cool thing about writing young adult romance is that both older women and younger women are reading my books. You know, it's not just teens. And for older women, reading about kind guys is a way to show like, oh, it could have been different when I was younger. I did deserve that, you know, then, and I definitely deserve it now. And for young girls, it's a way to see like, oh, there are guys like this. You know, this is kind of what I should be looking out for. This is what I should be accepting, and this is what I shouldn't be accepting. Ugh, poked my eye. Can't talk and do makeup at the same time. Okay. Ugh, that's gonna sting a little bit. So that's kind of the gist of it. I just really wanted to write guys like the kind of guys that I would fall in love with. And every girl deserves that kind of guy in her life. You know, whether you're 14 and dating your first boyfriend, or 50 and dating after a divorce, or, you know, starting all over. So I think that's kind of the gist, is that you deserve that. You deserve that love that will treat you as you deserve to be treated. And my child ate my lipstick. It's a very expensive tube of lipstick. And he enjoyed it, for sure. So I'm glad one of us did. But moral of the story, that is why I write nice guys. That's why I married a nice guy, and that is why I always push for my boys to grow up to be nice guys. And that's that. I'll talk to you again soon.